Power of compounding, the secret to creating wealth. Compounding is the secret to creating wealth. Here's a story to show you just how. Once, there was a king known for his generosity and keeping his word. A notorious and shrewd prisoner awaiting his death sentence was brought in front of him. The king was at that time playing a game of chess. "What is your last wish?"
"Your Majesty, I wish to make provision for my family to survive after my death."
"Well, tell me what you want."
"Give me the number of grains of rice on the last square of the chessboard. If a single grain was kept on the first square and then doubled on every neighboring square, that is, 1 on the first, 2 on the second, 4th on the third, 8 on the fourth, 16 on the fifth, and so on until the 64th square, and I shall give it to my family before I die."
Wish granted. The king ordered his ministers to have the amount of rice calculated and given to the prisoner. But he was in for a rude shock. The amount calculated was so large that the king lost his entire kingdom and was indebted to the prisoner all his life. So, what do you think the rice would be worth today? We at moneyworksforme.com thought of playing with the numbers, and here's what we found out. Considering rice to be priced at 22.5 rupees per kg, that is $500 per metric ton, and every grain of rice to be 20 milligram, the rice that the prisoner got would be worth a humongous 41 crores 50 lakhs 51,742 crore rupees, or just about $92 trillion. With this, he could easily buy the GDP of the entire world. This is a great story. But you might wonder, what's in it for you? This story tells you about the 8th wonder of the world, compounding. Compounding is, quite simply, interest getting added to your capital, earning further interest. The table shows you the difference between simple and compound growth. In simple growth, the base on which the investor earns remains the same, whereas in compound growth, the base increases with the amount earned in every cycle. Thus, after 5 years, the earning in the case of simple growth are 5,000, 50% of 10,000, whereas in the case of compound growth, the earnings are 6,105, 61% of 10,000. The difference becomes more significant with larger periods, as simple growth is linear and compound growth is exponential. So, how does compounding work its magic? Compounding works through two tools: the compounding rate and the number of compounding cycles. The compounding rate is the percentage by which the investment, the rice in the above story, grows with every compounding cycle. In the story, the compounding rate was 100%. Though it is almost impossible over a long period to get a compound growth of 100%, even a modest 15 to 20% growth rate can do wonders for you. In fact, even a difference of 2% can add significantly to your wealth. The other factor that makes compounding work exponentially is the compounding cycle is a factor like time, or a square on a chessboard as in the story, during which the investment grows by the compounding rate. This period may be 1 day, 1 month, 1 quarter, or any other period. Generally, 1 year is the most frequently used compounding period. For compounding to be more effective, it should be allowed to undergo a sufficiently large number of compounding cycles. Just consider that the chessboard was 7 by 7 instead of 8 by 8. This would give the prisoner 49 compounding cycles instead of 64 and reduces worth to 12,666 crore rupees, or around $2.8 billion, which is sufficient to buy just a mid-cap company. Therefore, it's the later compounding cycles which contribute more to your wealth, as the base on which your wealth compounds and grows becomes larger with each cycle. When investing in stocks for the long term, we hear the term CAGR. This signifies the rate at which your investment grows every year. At moneyworksforme.com, we consider that when you invest in stocks, you should earn a minimum of 15% CAGR. The MRP, or intrinsic worth of a stock, that we calculate is based on this assumption. We believe that to reduce your risk, you should always invest in a stock when it is at a 50% discount to its MRP. Doing this will in fact lead to a CAGR of greater than 20%. Take a look at the table to understand what you would earn if you were able to grow your investment of Rs 10,000 with a CAGR of 10%, 15% or 20%. Clearly, a small percentage increase in the growth rate significantly increases the returns. The returns in the later years are more impressive due to the higher base effect. Thus, the longer the period, the more attractive the gains. The Sensex has given a return of 17.8% CAGR since 1978-79 over a period of 32 years. By understanding and applying the principle of value investing, an investor can achieve a CAGR of above 20% over long periods. This means that your investments earn enough money to be able to beat the effect of inflation. Who would you like to be?